what you expected from this team this season? I mean, strong start to finish, the bench and the reserves, kind of all around, high energy, pretty effective.
Yeah, I mean, as far as putting a complete game together, I think that was a much better showing, obviously, than we've had in a while. So that's the direction. We're going in the right direction now, but we have to keep it going that way. And
One more. It looked like maybe you consciously realized that your jumper wasn't going tonight, so you got closer to the basket and kind of went that way. Was that conscious, or did that just kind of happen?
I mean, that was kind of a plan coming in. You know, I don't want to settle for jumpers every game, whether they're going in or not. But yeah, I missed some easy one, missed wide open shots, and you know, whenever that happens, you kind of have to go to plan B or be able to contribute in some other ways. So just kind of switched it up.
Blake right here. Tonight was our 200th sellout game. How important are the fans?
Huge, man. It's you know, whenever you play at home and have that home crowd behind you, get you out of a slump or get you back in it when the other team makes a run. It's huge. Our fans have been great, you know, for a long, long time now. You know, we want to give them something to be proud about and something to cheer for. But you know, they've been awesome.
Like when JJ gets it going offensively, how much does that open just everything up for you guys?
It's huge. I mean, you know, the thing about JJ, even when he's not hitting shots, you still have to be aware of him and you know where he is and all that. So, but when he is hitting shots, it just puts another, you know, another dimension of pressure on a team where you can't give him any space. And a lot of times we run, you know, plays that aren't for JJ. It looks like it's for JJ, but it gets somebody else open.
And was this probably the best example this year of what defense can do in terms of transition for you guys?
Yeah, I thought we were good defensively, but I think we still have a lot of room for improvement. I think they missed some open shots as well. I mean, we did too, but they missed some open shots and some shots that we can't give them. So, you know, we gotta be even better. But this is a step in the right direction.
Like, what did you see on the foul on AD that led to all the technicals and him leaving the game? And has that happened to you before, like, you know, guards coming down, kind of stopping in front of you in transition?
Yeah, I mean, that happens a lot. I mean, well, CP does a lot, you know, and there's other point guards that do it a lot as well. So, it wasn't anything malicious, but it's just a way to draw a quick foul on the big. I think I'm always conscious of it because, you know, I see it all the time. But I've seen other point guards do it. A lot of point guards do it. But you never want to see somebody go down like that.
Blake, talk about your matchup against Anthony Davis. What does that do, you know, when you come in a game like this against a player like himself?
What does it do?
Yeah, I mean, is there more adrenaline? Is there more preparation for him?
No, not more. We give everybody the same amount of preparation. I give everybody the same amount of preparation. So he's an amazing player, capable of having huge nights. So it's, you know, when you're playing against a player like that who can do a lot of different things, it has to be a team mindset as far as defense goes, and stopping a guy like that or slowing a guy down like that. But we put the same amount of time in for every team, and we don't want to overlook one team or overlook the rest of the guys and only focus on one guy. We look at it as a whole.
All right, Dan, last question.
Curious, Blake, you're over by Lance's locker and you get to kind of hear and talk to him and kind of joke around with him. How would you describe kind of his personality and what's it been like compared to maybe what you expected based on his sort of reputation?
I wasn't really sure what to expect. I really try not to put expectations on a guy just from hearing about him, because each individual relationship you have with a teammate is different, and it might be different than previous guys on previous teams. But Lance, I love Lance. I think he just has a great spirit, and I think he wants to be. I think he wants to be great. And he wants to help out. He wants to be a good teammate. He's funny. He's always talking, always saying something. Listening to music really loud.
He's a great rapper.
Great rapper. We're second best on the team behind JJ.
According to TMZ.
I really like Lance. He's been a lot of fun to be around, and he's so talented. But it's our job to help him find that and keep that and keep him focused on that. But he's been great.
All right, folks.
Oh.
JJ, did you kind of know early on that you were gonna have a good shooting day?
Well, I mean, I started 1 for 4. I think it was good for me to knock a couple shots down before I got subbed out there in the first quarter. More so than anything we were calling, I played with more energy tonight than I did against Utah, and that was the biggest thing.
JJ, you said you played with more energy. What is the reason for that? Was it because of the bad loss that inspired you to come out?
The NBA schedule.
How do you build upon this win tonight, coming into against Minnesota on Sunday?
Yeah, we have. I think we are. We are desperate. We have to not look at this as something where we can ease into things, or that we've eased into it, or that we eventually will start winning. Like, it's got to be now. And that seems to be the atmosphere in the locker room. And we have to take advantage of this homestand, and that's the biggest thing. For us is just winning these games at home and setting ourselves up. Because when you go on a 5-game East Coast swing, things happen. Those games are always tough. So we have to take care of business over the next week.
JJ, would you say this is your best game back from the back injury last week? And second to that, when you have a hot start, this team is virtually unbeatable. Knowing that, does that kind of change your approach in the first quarter of the game?
Yeah, I guess this is probably the best game I've had since I got back from my back injury. I still don't feel like my legs are completely there. I pride myself on being in excellent physical condition, and I don't really ever get tired. And since I've got back, where I didn't do anything for 8 days, it's still finding that kind of condition and that wind, because I have to play a certain way. And so again, I kind of touched on it, but that's, I was winded against Utah. That doesn't happen. Second night of a back-to-back, I just didn't have it, and that was frustrating for me. Even coming out of the first quarter today, like I don't know when I'll get it back, but it's really just about getting minutes. We don't practice a ton. I don't know that I'll be doing sprints tomorrow with a 12:30 game on Sunday. So, but it's an important thing for me to be in great shape, and that week off hurt. Second part of that was I kind of went off on a tangent. What was it?
The hot first order cards.
Oh, yeah. I don't necessarily come into a game thinking I need to score early for us to win, but I know for me personally, I think as a shooter and a scorer, it's always good to see the ball go in early. I think that anybody will tell you that. So, I like getting off to good starts. I like playing with energy early, and I know it does help our team.
JJ, tonight was our 200th sellout game. How important are the fans?
The fans are incredibly important. We're trying to build something here, and we'd love to have one of the top atmospheres in the league. I think that's the ultimate goal. It's something that Steve has talked a lot about. And, for us and where this franchise is headed and where it's been the last few years, the fans have been an integral part of that, and they will continue to be an integral part of our future.
JJ, you kind of touched on this, but when you miss 8 days, how do you get that shape back? Is it kind of like jet lag? Does it take 8 days or longer? Or do Do you have to do additional stuff on your own, or do you just have?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna have to at some point do additional stuff, but I mean, you know, we had a back-to-back. The Denver, let me just say this. Having a back-to-back in Portland and Denver is like the two worst places to have a back-to-back. I think anybody that was on that trip will agree with that. Like, that's completely different than playing in New York and then Philadelphia the next night, or playing in Golden State and then LA the next night. Those flights are ridiculous. And, you know, so we had those two. We have Thanksgiving yesterday. I'm certainly not gonna leave the turkey on its own. We have a back-to-back Sunday and Monday. You know, I would like to find some time to do some sprints, but, you know, it's just not there right now. So I'm gonna have to work myself back into game shape in games, and when the time comes, do a little extra.
All right, last question for JJ.
JJ, looking ahead to Sunday, how much of the Timberwolves have you seen, and what do you make of Towns and Wiggins?
Haven't watched a full game of theirs yet, but I've seen them a ton. You know, they're really good. They play a fun brand of basketball. They have great young players. You know, it definitely starts with those two guys, but they have other guys capable of big games. Levine and Kevin Martin are great scorers off the bench. So we're gonna have to be really good defensively.
All right, thanks everyone.